All right, y'all. Welcome to video 32, the third in this series on digestion. It's halftime of the game, so I'm trying to make this kind of quick. Part of my trying to be more productive in this endeavor of trying to figure out what this meknosis really is. This video is going to cover the actual spark of thought that made me think of making this video. And I was going to do it all in one video, and I started out and it's just way too long. And it makes me ramble too much. I'm really still not very good at this, and I need more practice. So hopefully 10, 15 minute long videos will give me the practice I need to learn how to say what I'm thinking. Actually, not what I'm thinking, what I'm channeling from this world, from the informed field, whatever you wish to call it. I believe none of us really think or really know anything. We'll actually have to get into this later. It's an interesting concept that I've been thinking about lately, but digestion. As we were discussing yesterday, we're more focused on physical digestion. And this one's going to be more mental / spiritual. And again, we're going to be sticking to the Bible. I feel like I should give a warning. I have tremendous respect for all people who have faith. So if you are already a person of deep faith, of the Judeo-Christian, any Abrahamic religion, Muslims included, you're not going to like what I have to say. And I just say, God bless, seriously. This is probably not the kind of information you would like to absorb or even be exposed to, so I'm going to say it's probably not a good idea to watch. All that aside, we're going to move forward. So, a lot of people, if you ever listen to them talk about the Bible, they're really confused. They're like, it doesn't make any sense. How does God condone slavery? How does God condone murder? I mean, mass murder. God condones genocide, commands genocide, infanticide, the stoning of human beings to death, which is horribly brutal. How can God command these things and want these things and desire these things, perhaps even cherish these things, when God is supposed to be this loving God? How do we have this dichotomy? Well, just like yesterday, the answer to the Bible is at the very beginning of the Bible. The beginning of the Bible lays out the story, and we all need to read it very, very carefully. You see, in the very beginning of the Bible, the word used is Elohim, gods, more than one God. You see, the people who wrote the Bible, the folks that we eventually call Jews, this whole tribe of people, many, many tribes of people, believed in many gods. They just believed that their God was the one true God. The argument wasn't if there's just one God. No, they believed there's many gods. Matter of fact, I think it was during the Second Temple period, God had a wife who was worshipped at the temple. It's a very complicated relationship. Most folks who are fairly well educated on this and understand the Bible believe that there was a creator God. And then the creator God had some siblings, of which Yahweh was one of them. And in the end, Yahweh won out. Yahweh is the God of war and like desert storms or something. Yahweh is a desert God. And eventually became the one God. But the book is clear. They believed in many gods. Their gods were married. So what does this tell us? Well, if you read I think it's 1 John and 2 Corinthians and a couple of other spots, they'll tell you that Satan rules this planet, or at least the nations, perhaps just the governments. I think it's pretty obvious to those of us that watch anyone who's in politics. They're not human. They have zero thought about humanity. They spend all their time attempting to divide and conquer humanity. They don't lead. They don't love. They don't have reverence for humanity. They don't care. These people worship evil, and evil is real. But the point of this is the Bible itself. You see, it is very important to read the Bible. It's critically important. It is the best guidebook we have to what it means to be a human, what it means to live in this place. But you see, you don't read the Bible, you digest the Bible. You have to bring it in small bite-sized pieces. You have to break it down and fully understand it at its smallest components. And then you choose. As Jesus says, you walk the narrow path. It's a choice. You choose that which you think will nourish your mind and your body and your soul, and you must reject the rest. The Bible is a choose-your-own-adventure story, and the devil is in there. God gets his say in the Bible. All gods get their say in the Bible. It's for you to choose who's speaking. It's the reason why none of the stories make sense if you think it's one person. It's schizophrenic. If you believe it's a singular point of view. You'll watch all these people sit there and say, "Oh, you just can't understand the mind of God." No, I think it's pretty patently clear. I'm going to stop saying patently. I think it's pretty clear. You'd have to be schizophrenic. You see, what these people telling you who are defending this, that you just don't understand the mind of God, you can't understand his ways. It's always a he for some reason. You see, they're telling you not to believe your eyes. They're telling you not to believe your ears. Your lying eyes deceive you, is what they will tell you. They themselves know the truth. You must follow their path. They will shepherd you to the promised land. My friends, the path is narrow. You must find it yourself. And the Bible, again, is the voice of many gods. Tells you right up front. And it reminds you at the end, in the New Testament, that the God of this world is evil. And of course is represented in the Bible. Matter of fact, I believe it was Marcion or whatever his name was, the person who had the first gospel historically, believed the God of the Bible was evil, referring to the Old Testament. He believed the whole thing was the devil. Might be right. I think it's very clearly mixed messaging in there. And I think that's the point. I think our eyes were opened when we ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And I do believe you are supposed to be able to see and make the choices for yourself on what is good and what is evil. And not have this blind faith that perhaps it's just beyond your understanding. You see, because if you can see the words, that means it's within our narrow, we have, 0.02% or something of the visible light spectrum. We are very, very constrained beings. We are limited, profoundly limited. But if something comes within our purview, within our grasp to understand, to say that is beyond my understanding when you can physically grasp it and manipulate it and debate it and discuss it, meditate upon it, to then say, just beyond me. Really? You see, even when you do this, what you have done, and I call it, just to stick with the theme that's called indigestion. um, once you are exposed, you have no choice, my friends. Nature must take its course. And when you read the spiritual material, you must choose. Now, you may say it's all good and not understand the schizophrenic nature, or you may see the schizophrenia for what it is, and that you are reading many voices, and that you must choose which one is giving you wise counsel. So, the actual thought that started all this is I always call the Bible the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's the tree. The fruit is within that book. And it's up to us to digest that information and find the fruit that nourishes and reject the fruit that poisons, my friends. That's the whole point of these last couple of videos. Well, yesterday is actually pretty important as far as like what it's like to live in this avatar, live in this creation of this space that we live in, this matrix. I just like calling it the matrix in our body and avatar, just because it's really easy concepts for people to understand and remember, and it's fairly accurate. But again, the Bible is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's the tree of life. Each page is called a leaf. These are the leaves of the tree. And it's up to each one of us to read it, digest it, and as I said, find the fruit that nourishes life. Understand and reject that which does not. With that, my friends, I'm going to leave it there and get back to the game. Got a whole lot of work coming up this weekend. Still going to try and make some videos, though. So until then, my friends, I hope this whole digestion 3-part video makes sense. Trying to get better, as we all should. So until then, my friends, I will see you on the next one.